Oh, champ. Run up these likes, run up these likes, run up these likes. We're back here again with another one. It looks like Pooh Shiesty's lawyer is trying to say the government is contradicting themselves because what they're saying doesn't match with the evidence. Right? Pooh Shiesty's lawyer releases a statement following federal charges. There is a significant gap between the statements made by the government and the actual evidence, according to Pooh Shiesty's lawyer, champ. Alright, listen, this is getting crazy. I'm gonna read y'all this statement, champ. Here's what's going on, man. Bradford Cohen, the lawyer of Pooh Shiesty, says we are still evaluating the alleged evidence against Mr. Williams Jr. at this time. After the bond hearing on Mr. Williams Sr. and the testimony we reviewed, it appears that there is a significant gap in the statements made by the government and the actual evidence. As such, we have been reviewing those issues in anticipation of Mr. Williams Jr.'s bond hearing. And that's Bradford Cohen, the current lawyer of Pooh Shiesty. He's trying to say the government is contradicting themselves. Y'all don't have legit evidence. Y'all are just saying things, champ. Could Pooh Shiesty possibly go free, ladies and gentlemen? Could he, champ? Is it possible? I don't know about all that. If you committed a robbery and you had on an ankle monitor, that's crazy, gang. I ain't gonna lie. Ankle monitor robbery is very insane, champ. Very barbaric. How can the government not possibly trace those Greyhound tickets that these guys had when they got on that Greyhound? Unless they got on that Greyhound at gunpoint. Allegedly, champ, I've never heard of people, forcing the driver to let them on the Greyhound for free, champ. Did these niggas get on the Greyhound for free because they had weapons drawn? Because I never heard of that, I ain't gonna lie. Never heard of that, gang. Never heard of that, gang. Shorty Nick says this guy has Kodak Black's old lawyer. Was his lawyer actually good? Because Yak done been in the penitentiary more times than we can count. Yak been in and out the penitentiary. Now, it's been a while since Yak been locked up, not gonna lie. Especially after his last traumatic experience where he said, hey, champs, look, man, they treated me like a slave in here, champ. He wasn't getting no nutrition, no food. He was getting treated poorly. He was going across state lines, being transferred to different jails and all that. Is this actually a good lawyer? I don't know, gang. Doesn't sound like it to me, champ. FBA Mr. CJ30 says, why did the ankle monitor not alert authorities when he was leaving the state? Good question, champ. Did he hack the system? Champ, is he smarter than we're giving him credit for? I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, gang. I'm just gonna be honest. You heard? But Bradford Cohen, current lawyer for Pooh Shiesty, says, yo, listen, the government's contradicting themselves, champ. What y'all saying doesn't match the evidence, champ. Yeah, y'all ain't matching the evidence, ladies and gentlemen. This is what Bradford Cohen is saying here, okay, about Pooh Shiesty, right? I don't know, gang. Is this guy a specialist in goddamn the technology of ankle monitors, champ? Did he know for sure that he would be able to commit this crime on an ankle monitor, champ? I don't know, gang. Listen, maybe he's more of a ankle monitor technician than we might know. Let's not try to limit the genius of Pooh Shiesty, champ. Alright, maybe there was an entire strategy to this madness. Right? Maybe. That's just me, though. That's just what I'm saying, champ. I don't know, gang. I don't know. But this is very interesting. I will say that this is very interesting, champ. Okay? Oh, champ. Man. But listen, the lawyer believes in his heart of hearts that, yo, listen, y'all contradicting yourself. This doesn't match the evidence. This doesn't match the evidence, champ. Right? Guys are lying, champ. But again, if there's so-called video footage and etc., how did said individuals like Seti Nash, the first person on YouTube to actually say that Gucci Mane got robbed initially, because he was the first person to say it, how did he get any type of video from that building is my question. How did he know, champ? How did he know? I don't know how he knew, man. Maybe we just have psychic rats. Now, if you've been a long subscriber of the mayor and you've been here for a while, you've heard me make reference to psychic rats. There might be rats that have psychic powers. I ain't gonna lie, nigga. Think of Pikachu as a psychic Pokemon, and you kinda will understand where I'm going here, champ. There might be some psychic rats out there. Am I calling Seti Nash a psychic rat? I might be. I ain't gonna lie. Listen, beware of psychic rats, gang. Beware of the psychic rats. A nigga might know that you're doing crime just because he's psychic, champ. Just saying. Beware of the psychic rats, champ. You know, they have psychic investigators that work for the government. This is actually a thing. Not gonna hold you. If you didn't know, you should do your research. Yeah, they got psychic investigators and all that to find missing persons and what have you, champ. These things do exist. So if they have those, what makes you think they don't got psychic rats, champ? Psychic vermin. Huh, champ? Listen. You got some rat fortune tellers that exist, champ. That's what I'm saying. You got rat fortune tellers, gang. Yeah. You know how you would see Miss Cleo with a crystal ball and all of these niggas got a crystallized ball of cheese, champ. Yeah, like the crystallized cheese ball, champ. About the size of a bowling ball, but is indeed dairy. Okay, you might have those, champ. They can tell your future. They can tell you if you're going to jail in the near future. If they'll tell you how to avoid prison in the near future. Psychic rats. You know what I'm saying? They might exist, champ. 730 JB says, "Yep, I know someone who was missing and the cops used a psychic to find him." Told you, champ. The man doesn't lie, champ. The man only provides facts. Okay? Listen. I don't know how someone like Seti Nash was able to capture any footage of Pooh Shiesty trying to rob Gucci Mane, champ. Don't know. I have no clue. These niggas are masterful rats. They are masters of the craft, champ. These are the highest tier of the dairy card, champ. These are the highest tier dairy people in the dairy section, champ. This is all I can tell you, champ. I really can't explain any further. I can only go as far as I know, champ. Okay, but apparently, listen, man, there's just the hierarchy in the dairy section. There's a hierarchy of the dairy section that can attain such evidence that the police can't even get. Ain't that crazy, gang? I don't know, man. All I'm saying is, yeah, I don't know how much this lawyer's gonna help Pooh Shiesty. Again, the homie Shorty Nick said, yo, this is Kodak's lawyer that Kodak used before. Will this work, champ? Now, listen, you can't get Brian Steele. Brian Steele is booked. Little Dirk is using Brian Steele right now. Little Dirk is using Brian Steele to try to get the hell out of his situation right now. He's fighting a major case here. A major case, ladies and gentlemen. Michael Connor says they come out of the MK Ultra. They use astral projection to view the crime. I guess, champ. I mean, all things are possible, man. All things are possible. You may have a point there, Mr. Connor. Not gonna lie. FBA Mr. CJ says he was gonna get that chain back in some 60 Crips with Pooh Shiesty. Don't believe him. I heard about the rolling 60s Crips and all that. I heard about that. Shorty Nick says if Seti the cop calling Crip saw a video and had or has possession of it, he's the feds. No, he said possession of it, the feds will definitely see it. LOL. I think the feds is looking at everything, man. Listen, at this point, there's certain YouTubers that's doing the groundwork for the feds, so the feds could just kick back and wait for the YouTubers to give them the whole breakdown. You doing the feds' homework for them, champ. Listen, at this point, these YouTubers are like people who will do your homework for you back in the day. Remember, you had one person who do your homework for you, champ. This is the same thing these YouTubers is doing. They doing federal homework, champ. They breaking it down piece by piece, putting the puzzles together, connecting the dots. The feds ain't got to do nothing but just sit around in a police van with their feet kicked up watching your content, champ, eating popcorn. You heard? That's all they got to do. These niggas is putting pieces together, connecting the dots, building that Federico. on their own, champ. They're helping the feds. They're federal assistants, if you will, champ. I don't know how much the informant payroll is or the annual check of a goddamn informant is, but y'all might as well be that. I ain't gonna lie, gang. And if that's what you want to do, you know what I mean? If that's what y'all want to do, champ. Call me Wayne 96 says academics in Charleston White are doing the homework for the feds. I agree, Neil. I don't know how much academics is doing his homework these days. I'll be honest. Yeah, academics is a police ass Negro. However, as of late, I ain't really seen him doing too much police work. Charleston White for damn sure is doing it 1000%. I think Ack has retired his police heroics for now until further notice. I really haven't seen bro in his police bag as of late. All I'm seeing is him taking Tito shots out of a bag, though. He has a Crown Royal bag full of Tito shots, which is nasty work. Having a Crown Royal bag full of Tito shots is the equivalent of having on a Nike Tech outfit with Adidas shell-toe sneakers. That just don't go together. You feel what I'm saying? Shorty Nick with the $5 in town taxes says, paying my town taxes so they don't kick my door down too. It's a good idea, champ. You would hate to be in the same cell as Pooh Shiesty, right? I'm just saying, you gotta pay them taxes, gang. You know, you never know, gang. You never know, champ. You might end up with Shiesty and them in the cell, champ. You feel me? TNM Pro says, the new narrative is that it's not snitching according to Flacco. Shaking my head. Yo, Flacco's playing with y'all. Flacco was a proud snitch. He said it. Poetic Flacco said he's a proud rat. And guess what? The gang members is helping Flacco 1000%. They want to get locked up, champ. You want to get locked up. If you are so-called street Negro and gang banging, what have you, you don't involve outsiders in your business. You don't tell them the business, champ. It's one thing for the streets to be made aware of a crime, but that crime doesn't go anywhere else outside of the streets, which means someone who is a civilian should never know the business of what's going on in them streets, period. But hey, niggas is clout chasers, right? Niggas want to gang bang and then clout chase after. You want to tell on yourself. You want clout, champ. You enjoy the feeling that you get from being, you know, in a clout environment, champ. You want to get clout. You want to be seen by the internet as the biggest gangster possible. I just want to let you know that you're going to prison, though. You're going to prison, though, because you're talking to those people, and you don't even know you're talking to them people. Just because they don't got a badge, don't mean they ain't the police, nigga. Call Me Wayne says, why would anybody listen to Flacco? He's a lame nigga from North Dakota speaking on LA gang politics. Well, he ain't the only one. But apparently, those same LA gang members trusted Flacco to give him such information. So, yeah, Flacco is who he is, right? He's definitely a rat. But these niggas was comfortable enough to tell him details. So we gotta look at these gangbangers as crazy as we look at Flacco. If you want to be mad at Flacco, me personally, I'm not mad at Flacco. I'm not mad at Whack 100. I'm not mad at Seti Nash. I'm not mad at any of these people because these people are giving them the information. The horses, it's coming from the horse's mouth, gang. It ain't like niggas just woke up one day and said, hey, champ, I'm gonna tell. These niggas purposefully told these guys the information. At the end of the day, if we're gonna be real about the situation, niggas like Flacco and Whack 100 is these LA gangbangers big homies. These are they big homies. You know why? Because these niggas got the money and clout, and these niggas will tell these niggas information, thinking that they cool with them, just for them to make content about it. It ain't like these goddamn gangbangers didn't know that these guys have a history and a pattern of exposing niggas. I mean, hey, the nigga Whack 100 had a whole show called The Exposers for a reason, right? Like, why would you ever try to get in the good graces of these guys? Knowing what they do, you're only helping them build content, stash up content for the future. So again, why is your gang banging self ever gonna try to even have a conversation in a street light with Poetic Flacco or Whack 100. So I can't be mad at these guys at all. Y'all wanted to tell them that. Y'all involved them in street business. So therefore, if they make content about it, you ask them to do it. As far as I'm concerned, I'm just gonna keep it 1,000. I'm not gonna lie, bro. That nigga Flacco ain't lying, but hey, Flacco is who he is, bro. He is who he is. What can I say, nigga? I'm not mad at none of these rats because these street guys be having them around. It's just a fact. Just like the non-trade gangsters in Brooklyn. Why did you have 6ix9ine put on the set? Secco, Billy, and Billy Otto jumped 6ix9ine into non-trade, making him a actual blood member by New York gang standards. If a nigga jumps you and puts you on the set, you was a member. That means that by law, technically speaking, 6ix9ine is still non-trade Billy Badass blood. Because guess what? Secco, Billy, and Billy Otto jumped him in the studio and made him that way. And he asked him to do it. So when you do this and you invite these people who will tell, what did you expect? Shorty Nick says facts and they know what type of niggas they be talking to and still gossip is the crazy part. You're literally self-sabotaging yourself. You're literally self-sabotaging yourself. We just gotta be real about the situation. You just gotta be real. So we gonna keep being mad at the rats, or we gonna look at these gang members kind of crazy like, yo bro, why did you tell him this? You actually assisted in building up an entire RICO against your entire set and other gangs as well. Just saying. Smoke Session Time says, cause niggas waited their whole life to put cases on niggas. It's bigger than Nino Brown. Niggas gotta stop talking. Niggas talk too damn much. Niggas talk too much, bro. What can I say? But yeah, man. Back to the Pooh Shiesty situation. Pooh Shiesty's lawyer, Bradford Cohen, who is the former lawyer of Kodak Black, is saying that the government is contradicting themselves when it comes to the case because the evidence doesn't match the government statements. So that's just what it is, you know. Maybe he's a good lawyer. I don't know if this guy's actually a good attorney to have. I have no idea. Kodak in his last situation, when he was last incarcerated, it wasn't good. I'm just gonna be real about the situation. It just wasn't good. So best of luck to this guy, I guess. Listen, I think what Shiesty and them guys did was very dirty and nasty. I seen videos of Gucci Mane saying how proud he was of Pooh Shiesty and how he had big plans for Pooh Shiesty. I seen a video of Gucci Mane getting him a track hawk and all that. Now, he signs to Yo Gotti on the lower end, the op of Gucci, and snakes Gucci Mane, trying to force him to sign him or sign a contract to get him off of the deal that he was on with 1017, and here we are, right? It's nasty work. It's very nasty work indeed. I'm just being real. I seen what I had to see, but it looks crazy, gang. It looks crazy. Smoke Session Time says it's because the government going off their informants' info. SETI crash unit dash and voice of police and telling a man go wrong. Yeah, listen. These guys are proud workers of the feds, right? It's only going to continue, ladies and gentlemen. It'll only continue. This is just what it is. This is how it's going. I just got to be real about the situation because, yeah, this is way out of hand. This is crazy, but these same street guys are definitely in cahoots with these guys when it comes to conversation, and they're involving them in stuff that they should not be a part of. So you're only playing a helping hand in the content that is actually produced to the public. So yeah, if you're foolish enough to discuss street things with Flacco, Whack, SETI, any of these guys that work together, you're the only one that can be blamed here, champ. You got to take accountability for your foolish actions, champ. That's all I'm saying. Take accountability, champ. If you get put in the RICO, take accountability, champ. That's what I'm saying. I literally watched Flacco, big homie, one of these bozo gang members from LA. Man, I watched him do it. I watched Poetic Flacco literally big homie one of these guys. These are some poor, broke gang members who only use clout as an out. It just is what it is, gang. I have to be real about the situation. But listen, man, if you're new to the Mayor's channel, make sure you subscribe right now, man. I need you to subscribe ASAP. Turn your notification bells on to get all of the Mayor's updates. I need you to smash that like button because it's very key, as well as hit the hype button when the video is done. Also, join the Mayor's Discord. The Discord link is in the chat. It's a fire Discord. I need y'all to click that link in the chat real quick. It's a fire Discord. We just made it. And one more thing before we get all the way up out of here. You ready, gang? It's the Mayor. Doing it only way in New York, Mayor F-Bomb down here, and you're rocking with the town favorite Showface News. It's Big Gotham. You already know it's the Tambridge, everybody at all times. I'm up out of here, gang. Salute.